This is luxury by design. Luxury by design.
According to the FBI, a burglar strikes every 25.7 seconds in the US. That simply adds up to more than 2 burglaries every minute and over 3,300 burglaries per day. Despite this staggering fact and frequency, it's still quite rare for robbers to make off with a huge payday before getting swiftly apprehended. However, there are those rare instances where impossible heists were quite successful in acquiring a hefty loot. In today's video, we're taking a look at the top 10 biggest bank robberies of all time. Before we jump into it, don't forget to click the like button, share, subscribe, and notification bell for future luxurious videos. Number 10. The Dunbar Armored Robbery, $8.9 million. The biggest cash heist in the history of the United States happened in 1997, when 6 men managed to steal $18.9 million from an armored truck facility. 6 men, including heist leader Alan Pace, who was employed at the Dunbar Armored Trucking Company as a regional safety inspector, managed to time and avoid the security cameras at the Dunbar facility in Los Angeles. As an employee, Pace knew that the vault was left open on Friday nights due to large quantities of money being moved. Recruiting 5 of his childhood friends to help him rob the depot vault, they broke into the facility, assaulted 2 guards while they were on lunch break, and loaded the money into a rented U-Haul on standby. The group left almost no evidence and would have gotten away with it completely had it not been for one of the accomplices, Eugene Hill, who was implicated 2 years later when he accidentally gave a real estate broker a stack of cash bound with the original currency straps. The broker contacted the police, which led to Hill confessing and implicating the 5 other robbers and 3 other men who helped them launder the money. Number 9. The United California Bank Heist, $30 million. In 1972, the safe deposit vault at United California Bank in Laguna Niguel, California, was broken into with almost $30 million lost in the heist. The heist was master planned by Emil Dincio, a professional criminal from Ohio, who assembled a gang of 6 robbers who flew to California after allegedly hearing about President Richard Nixon's multi-million-dollar slush fund. And while the slush fund didn't actually exist, they managed to break into the bank, gaining entry into the vault by using dynamite to blast a hole in its reinforced concrete roof. And while the robbery was executed quite perfectly, the thieves made the mistake of perpetuating a similar heist in Ohio a few months later. The FBI managed to link both crimes, and the investigation led to airline tickets revealing the gang members who traveled to California on the same flight, all using their real names. They all eventually got caught and convicted, along with the recovery of all the money they stole. Number 8. Northern Bank Robbery, $41 million. A week before Christmas in 2004, robbers in Belfast, Northern Ireland, disguised themselves as police officers and held hostage 2 of the bank's managers. Their families were held in their own homes, as they were told to go to work the next day, as if nothing was going on. As the workday ended, the managers themselves let the robbers inside the bank, leaving with up to $41 million worth of British pounds and other currencies in the biggest bank robbery in Irish history. This case is still unsolved, with the only arrest having been related to money laundering. Number 7. The Brinks' Mat Burglary, $41 million. One of Britain's most notorious bank heists was an inside job that happened in 1983 when a Brinks Mat security guard named Anthony Black allowed a group of robbers into the company's warehouse at London's Heathrow Airport. After tying the other guards on duty, the crew had expected to load mounds of cash, but found that inside was also plenty of gold and diamonds. While 2 of the 6 robbers were eventually caught, the gold was never recovered. Number 6. Banco Central Burglary at Fortaleza, $71.6 million. In August 2005, a group of burglars tunneled into the vault of the Banco Central located in Fortaleza, Brazil, and managed to remove 5 containers of 50 real notes with an estimated value of almost $71.6 million, which weighed about 3.5 tons. Banco Central is the Brazilian central bank and is charged with the control of the money supply. The money stolen, which was uninsured, was placed in the vault to be examined to decide whether it should be recirculated or destroyed. Instead, it got stolen. The bills were also unnumbered, making them almost impossible to trace. The heist was conducted by a 25-member gang who worked in the area using a landscaping business as a front. They spent 3 months digging a 256-foot tunnel that led up through the bank vault's floor. In the aftermath of the incident, only 8 people were arrested in connection to the crime, with only 20 million Brazilian real or $3.7 million recovered. Number 5. Securitas Depot Robbery, $83 million. Considered as the largest cash robbery in British history, the Securitas Depot robbery, which occurred in 2006, started with the kidnapping of the Securitas Depot branch manager and his family. Armed with assault rifles and submachine guns, the robbers took the manager to the warehouse and forced him to provide them entry. Inside, they tied up 14 staff members and got away with up to $83 million worth of used and unused sterling banknotes. In a span of 4 months after the heist, over 30 people were arrested in relation to the crime. 5 people were convicted and received long sentences. Most of the money was never recovered. Number 4. Knightsbridge Security Deposit Robbery, $98 million. On July 12, 1987, 2 men gained access to the Knightsbridge Safety Deposit Center vault in Westminster, London. The perpetrators entered the center and requested to rent a deposit box. After they were brought into the vault, they drew handguns and subdued the manager and security guards. The thieves stole $98 million from safety deposit boxes. A couple of weeks later, investigators linked the bloody fingerprint found at the crime scene to a Valerio Visei, leading to his arrest, including his accomplices. Visei was sentenced to 22 years in prison. Number 3. British Bank of the Middle East heist, $210 million. In January 1976, 8 armed men stole cash, stocks, gold bars, jewels, and other valuables, totaling a loot worth $210 million. During this time, Lebanon was in the midst of a civil war, providing the most opportune time for this group of robbers to conduct their heist. They used explosives to burst through the wall of an adjacent Catholic church to enter the British Bank of the Middle East and blasted their way into the bank's vault using grenades and plastic explosives. The still unknown perpetrators remain free, with none of the loot ever recovered. Number 2. Dar es Salaam Bank Heist, $282 million. Dar es Salaam Bank is a private financial institution in Baghdad, Iraq. In 2007, 3 thieves dressed as bank guards managed to steal up to $282 million. According to the police, bank workers showed up in the morning and realized that the money was gone. While there's little information with regards to this case, plenty of questions have risen. Could there have been collusion with police and militias, allowing the robbers to pass through the many checkpoints in Baghdad undetected? Why was there so much U.S. currency at the bank? The largest theft in Iraq that wasn't politically induced remains to be a mystery. Number 1. The Hatton Grand Heist, $284.58 million. In April 2015, an underground safety deposit facility in Hatton Garden, London was robbed. According to sources, up to $284.58 million worth of pound sterlings were stolen, making this the largest in English legal history. The heist was planned and executed by 6 elderly men who were all experienced thieves. It was reported that the burglars gained access through a lift shaft, then drilled their way into the thick vault walls. A month after the robbery, 4 of the suspects were arrested and were given 7 years in prison. The burglary has been featured in 3 feature films and a number of TV specials. So what do you think about the top 10 biggest bank robberies of all time? We'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. And if you're new to Luxury by Design, thumbs up, share, subscribe, and notification bell for future videos. Until next time.